Welcome to another live close CRM Audit. One less click, one more sale. Guys, what we're trying to accomplish in this video is how to find efficiency within your close account, how to make less clicks so we can make more sales, because conversions are going to happen in the conversations that are taking place. I've audited, optimized, built well over 100 close CRM accounts at this point in time. I've used HubSpot, I've used High Level, I've used ActiveCampaign, I've used Pipedrive. I'm Close's biggest fan over the last 6 years. And in today's video and today's training, we're going to do live audits on these accounts. Go over to the left, go to activity comparison. It's going to be the second drop down there. And let's go to yesterday. Was yesterday a normal day for you?
I wasn't very active, but Brandon was very active.
Dude, look at Brandon ripping 100 dials yesterday.
Yeah, Brandon, way to go.
And then let's scroll over to the right, Andrew, add a column, and I want you to search total duration. That's all right, 239. So our boy Brandon yesterday made 101 dials and spent 2 hours and 39 minutes on the phone. This is a great place if you're in leadership or you're trying to track your own metrics. This is a great place for you to spend your time to know, are you making the amount of dials? This is a great place to track our effort around our roles. Now, it starts with the expectation that you're setting when you're hiring the role. This board doesn't matter at all if we don't look at the expectation with the role on our team. But good rule of thumb, if you're a heavy dialer, an SDR, 50 dials or 1 hour of talk time on the phone. That's what we're looking for. 50 dials or 1 hour of talk time on the phone. I see full-time SDRs that are heavy dialers with 200 dials in 4 hours a day. So what is happening in those people's days or versus Brandon's process where he's not smashing 200 dials a day right now? Do you have any guesses? But yeah, a good SDR should be able to smash 200 dials a day. And if you've got 26,000 leads, there should be a way for you to work through those 200 dials. So show me, Andrew, what that process looks like right now on how Brandon would approach his day.
Okay, so when Brandon approaches his day, basically I made the buckets. I remember Mariah told us how to make the buckets.
He's on here right now, Andrew.
Okay, so in Brandon's day, correct me if I'm wrong, he goes through, he's got a general call list that goes right here. And then also we have some other lists like right here where, for example, if there's a gatekeeper, we go there. If there's like a voicemail, we call them back like 7 days later, and these buckets just kind of fill up. So
what's like Brandon needs to go call 100 new leads today. Where is he starting?
General calls.
Is he going to hit the power dial button and just start ding, 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 ding?
I'm pretty sure. Well, you could tell me, right? You just click on this person and then call them right here.
Correct. I don't do the speed dialer because I've kind of gotten into the routine of Google searching their company so I can try and find an email. So if they don't answer, I can send an email after my voicemail. So I'm just trying to contact support.
Let's talk about solving the actual problems in everyone's sales process here, right? Like, yeah, there's the one less click. Brandon has to take so many more clicks because the work wasn't done at the top of the funnel to build the list the right way.
Right. That's my fault.
But look, now we can go fix it, right? This is a common thing that I see. There's a woman on this call last week that same issue. I have to make sure I have the right information. So I click on their LinkedIn to check this before. Can't you just bring that in the import? And if you bring it in the import, can't you bring it in the right way so you can look at the right place so you don't have to click out of close to go do that thing again? So those extra clicks that Brandon's taking right now, call it maybe 30 seconds. He's got to go, on the website. It's not a lot of time. At least call it 30 seconds a minute. It's not a lot of time, but for his 100 dials, 100 unique leads, well, that's a minute times 100. That's 100 minutes, almost 2 hours of time. That's the flow blocker and the distraction blocker, taking Brandon out of being able to just ding, 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 dial. Because now he's got to go into another tab. Oh, and then Google just gave him an ad. Can you believe it? He went to go look up this fence company. Delivered him an ad for a pair of shoes that Brandon is super interested in. And now Brandon's looking at shoes, not making phone calls.
That sounds about right.
It could be. Brandon, the fact that he's making those dials the way he was, like, I know he was working because his process wasn't very good to go make those 100 dials. Like, it's not necessarily Brandon's fault that he didn't go smash 200 dials yesterday. It wasn't an attitude fault. It wasn't an effort fault. Those are usually the biggest problems with sales teams, attitude and effort. It was just a process thing. So if we can re-import these leads, but next time get them in with the email addresses and enrich the data in Apollo or Clay or any of these these other tools, we can build better processes. And what that process could look like here would be go up on the left-hand side, Andrew, and then click on workflows for me. Love it. A clean slate. Okay, so let's build it together right now. You're going to build a new workflow, click new workflow, and we're going to call this new outbound. We can rename it later. Let's name it new outbound, and we're going to hit done. We're going to make this so much simpler. So those $100 you made, Brandon, were you ripping 100 clean leads? Was it just like 100 unique dials for 100 unique businesses, or were they $2 per business, like back to back? Is anything like that going on?
So say a call doesn't go through and it says rejected, I'll try to give just one more back just in case it was on my end. But it's normally just all the leads, go through them. I call, if I leave a voicemail, if I can send an email, I'll move on to the next one.
Okay. Always thinking, guys, when we're solving these problems upstream, fixing the list and how we import that solves Brandon's problem for how that email is sent. Brandon can go build an email template to make life easier for him to send that email, but he could also stack that email directly behind a call step in this workflow to where he makes that call and that email goes out no matter what, and he never even has to think about sending that email.
And that's what I do now is I use templates. So for like gatekeepers, decision makers, voicemail, standing out, all that stuff. Drew's taking care of a lot of it for me. I'm definitely getting a good hang of it.
Love that. Love that. Now we can just build a little better processes around it, make you even more efficient. Will, I saw you nod in your head. That makes sense. Solving the problems upstream to solve these process problems inside of the motion. Add a step here, and we're going to add a call step. And then we're going to go required. Yep. Hit done. And then we're going to add a step. And we're going to go email, and we're going to search share templates. That email that Brandon's talking about, is that one of these in here?
Yeah, so we got different ones. This one's follow-up decision maker, follow-up gatekeeper. This one's like standout voicemail. We do this one, we leave a voicemail.
What if they didn't pick up, left voicemail?
Yeah.
Cool. Let's click on that one for a second. Guys, you want to tear apart Andrew's copy for a second?
Oh, yeah.
Difference between sales copy and marketing copy. That's what we're getting to here. We're trying to get a response. That's what we want. We just want a reply. Every single time we're doing something in our sales motion, we just want a reply. We don't even have to do much marketing here. We're just trying to sell stuff. We have the email list. All right. So the hi there, if we did import a list and we're able to have the actual contact name, we would love to say, hey, name, small thing. I don't think we have that necessarily every single time here. My name is username with reality fence. Cool. That template tag is now allowing this email to be used from everyone across an organization as the team scales. So I don't hate this email here. I really don't, because it's the first email. It's the first email on a cold outreach. So it's going to walk that line between like trying to market something and grab attention and get a response. It's not too lengthy. I don't have too many best cold email practice. What's really different is when you have a relationship with someone. Say Andrew had a relationship with a lead and he was sending them this email. That'd be a weird email to send because that
would be a touch point, not a trust point.
This guy has watched the YouTube videos. So we want to delete that delay. Scroll up on the right side here. Yeah, delete. Trash can.
Delete it.
Yeah, hit done. So we can build this workflow to be longer and longer and longer and longer and longer and longer and longer, right? Of course, why wouldn't? But for just Brandon's motion right now, because he has a high pickup rate on first calls and he wants to get that email out, hit save in the top right. And now let's take that, what is it, general calls, smart view. And I want you to hit filters and then add filter. And guys, we got 878 leads in here. We want to maybe call leads multiple times in the same day. I'm going to get back to that in a second. So we don't necessarily want to bulk enroll 878 leads into this because we're only going to call each lead one time and it's going to take going through 878 of them before we call a lead a second time. So we're going to bring this list of 878 and we're going to make it smaller. So search slice. Oh, you already have slice on here. Dang, this guy. So what I'm getting at is if you made this slice even smaller, so right now it's 1 out of 4. If you made it 1 out of 20, the lead list here, yeah, let's do it. 1 out of 20.
Do this to you too.
Make it 2 out of 20. All right, 96 leads. Now we only have 96 leads. Now hit the three bars next to the save button to the left of the save button and hit enroll in workflow. And then this is where you would enroll them in that workflow. So you would enroll them into a workflow here. So if you like the workflow that we just created and you want to do this motion, we can do this right now.
Oh, that's great.
So
the doctor made it. How could it go wrong? Ready?
Yeah, hit preview and then start workflow. Now under workflows, click into this workflow and it's bulk enrolling everyone right now. You see that there's 2 active. Now there's 9. And if we keep refreshing, that number is going to go up to 96 probably. And then you could hit one button to call now from right here, Brandon. You could hit one button, still power dial the same 100 leads you power dialed yesterday or a new 100 leads because we made a new slice. And now if they don't pick up, hey, don't worry, dude. That email is still going to go out automatically for you. If you had the email address in here, that's the kicker. All right. Great question. So a slice, I'm going to show you guys my close account. If I search slice, I can go slice. So I've got 938 leads in my CRM. If I go slice 1 of 5, I have 201. So I'm taking my 938 or whatever roughly and dividing it by 5. I don't know how the math works because that's definitely not divisible by 5, but it would allow you. So if you wanted to give 20% of your leads to one sales rep, you would save this as sales rep 1 and then share with that specific user. And then I can come into my slice and make this 1 a 2. And I've got 158 leads. Why it's not 200, I have no idea, but it's 158 different leads. And I can save as a new smart view, sales rep 2, share with a specific user. And now I've taken a bigger group of leads, chopped it down into a smaller group of leads. So I can either divvy them up, or very commonly, people want to bulk enroll leads into workflows, but you don't want to bulk enroll 20,000 contacts into a workflow all at once. So you want to slice it to get a smaller group of contacts and then work the leads from there.
I have the same problem. We have a lot of leads. It's very intensive. It's not classic cold calling. You're working very long on a contact to make an appointment. And my problem is my agents, they work in the same 50 or 100 contacts. I don't know how I can make a workflow for my agents that they call more contacts.
You want to make a workflow so they make more phone calls?
Yes, more phone calls and more different companies.
Let's see your screen. While you're pulling that up, so much of making more dials might have nothing to do with your closed CRM account right now. And it might have everything to do with your expectations you set with your sales reps and how they feel about the sales process, whether they like their jobs, whether they feel like they're getting paid for their jobs. All of that stuff is just as important as the sales process stuff. But it could just be your sales process, like Brandon's instance. I think he likes his job. Will, tell us while you're sharing your screen and getting things situated on your end, tell us a little bit about what you do.
So I'm just brand new with Close. My other CRM wouldn't quite do all that. Very few integrations. So we try to do setups for appointments and multiple appointments, and then finally do a presentation. Some can be one call close, but we need a good follow-up. Then we place for our opportunities where we'll store their policy information. And we can pull from that, do automated emails, and pull information. So what I'm going to pull mine up for is like, what would be a call sequence? I noticed somebody was using workflows to go like, call 1, and then we'll call them back 4 hours. We'll call them back 3, might be, 2 days later. I have a call sequence, but I don't know how to use it in Close.
Let's figure that. So where do your leads start? You get it like you import your leads, or they're inbound? Yep. Import them?
Well, I haven't gotten it inbound yet. Normally, once I get my API, they'll embed them in automatically, but right now I'm just importing them. But yeah, so it'll trigger off when they come in. But right now I'm just importing them because I'm like literally brand new with Close.
That's all right. It'll be a lot like Andrew's process. Let's see what you got going on. Cool. Let's look 332 leads. So you imported all of these.
Yep.
Cool. And let's see what you have on the left-hand side now for smart views. It looks like the default one. So really, we're starting now. I love that. Guess what, dude? You get to have the best foundation to on then. So if it's just the 332 leads in here, Will, how many times do you think we need to call these people?
Oh, I'll call them anywhere from 8 to 14 times. You're going to have 14 times and there hadn't been a response. I'll put it into a nurture to come back maybe a month later or something and maybe give them another dial. But so I have 14 touches, and I would like to, send out an email or an introduction or a text. It has my business card on it. In those sequences, it would fire those out.
You got it. So if we just go over to, now, how did you source these leads? Have they opted in for something?
Yeah. You see where it says new leads? This is just some personal stuff up here, but these new leads are all Facebook leads where they've responded that they're interested in life insurance. They gave, if they have current coverage, who their beneficiary would be, what their favorite hobby is. So I've got some pertinent information. I put those in custom fields so I could pull that information out, or even if a script, maybe it would pull that information up for me so I'd have it live.
Well, I am closed doctor, not closed lawyer, but it sounds like you are able to text these people, and that's nice.
Yeah, I did get opt-in. Yeah, it is opt-in for phone call and texting. So all my leads that I get, I'll be sure that they're TCPA compliant.
Heck yeah. All right. Let's get you to the top of the leaderboards in your company now that you're using this motion. So you have 332 leads in here. That slice feature that we talked about is going to be a good one. Now let's pick 100 you want to work first. So if you hit add filter and then you search slice and then you did 1 of 3. Right. Look, now there's 109 leads. So you can click out of that. And then you can hit save as in the top right. And we can just call this outreach and then hit save. And then you would go into workflows. on the left-hand side.
Workflows.
And this is where you would do new workflow, and you can call it outreach. And this would be the same motion that we kind of took Andrew through. So you would start with a call 1. So add step, call, yep, required, assign to, creator, enrolling user. That's cool. It's just you
Okay.
working out here. And then you can add a step here, and we can add an SMS step. And it's going to ask us to create a new template. So just hit search
Okay.
shared and create new template at the top there.
Uh,
And this is where I would call this outreach 1 is what I would name it. That way, when you guys use naming conventions in your close account, you will thank yourself because you're going to have 100 workflows or 100 templates at some point in time, and you're going to wonder how to search for them. So if you're just putting things into workflows, just name it the first step of the workflow name step. So outreach
Okay.
1. And this is where we would say something to get a response. I want to show you guys, I've got my team. I'm opting in for 100 different offers right now. And I wanted to see what all their sales processes look like so I can make a cool YouTube video for everyone and show you how horrible 90% of them are. Horrible. So you guys will get the sneak peek behind that right now. I'll just click through some leads here. Cardone Ventures at the top, I will say, has been the best one. Since I have opted in, they have texted me multiple times. They have drilled me with phone calls from multiple different people on multiple different lines. Does that make sense for someone like Grant Cardone's company where he does hundreds of millions of dollars in educational sales? Yeah, it makes a ton of freaking sense because it works. Like the guy or not, staying in front of people works. Making the phone call works. Sending the text message works. Sending the email works. 50% of these people don't reach out at all. So here's a lead that I opted in for, only received emails, never received a call. Drilled me with emails. That's good. Here's a message. Want me to personally build your lead gen machine, Sam? Just imagine how it would transform your business. Must be doing 10K a month. Who's going to reply to this? Excuse my temper and my attitude right now, my energy. Who in the world is going to perform an action from this text message? No one. No one. This is a horrible text message. And then we're waiting for people to perform the action on the link. I promise you, if you just change this text message to get a reply, want me to personally, hey, Sam, it's probably we should say a name and introduce ourselves. Hey, Sam, it's John with Jay Feldman's team. Just got your information. Curious. Do you have an agency right now? You're going to get a response. You're not guaranteed to get a response, but you're going to get way more responses and way more conversations in this text message right now. We'll go to another lead. Mark Russell. Mark from Better Wallet. Hey, Sam, tomorrow is the day. We'll be talking all about how to invest the right way. Use this link. Mark, I love if you're running a webinar, you're sending me a text message to at least remind me to get there. Way to go. Kudos to you on having that as a part of your process. If this is a phone number that's actually monitored by a sales rep, imagine how many more people Mark would be able to get to show up for that webinar if this said, hey, Sam, it's John with Mark from Better Wallet. I hope you're ready for the webinar tomorrow. What are you hoping to learn on that webinar tomorrow? Not only are you going to get a response, you're going to be able to start a conversation and probably get that person to show up, and you're going to get more information about what the heck you should teach on your webinar tomorrow.
I remember when your automatic text to me was, how can I learn more about your offer?
Yeah, after you book a call. It doesn't matter who booked a call or what source they came from. I can send that text and know it's a pretty safe one to send that's going to get me a response to start a conversation. Do I even need to talk about this one, guys? Do you see the problem? Don't even read it. Do you see the problem?
Too much.
It's so much.
Too long.
It's a text message.
Yeah.
I'm viewing this on a computer screen. Thank God. But imagine if I opened this on my cell phone. Holy crap. That's an email. Don't need to dive into anything there. This guy's absolutely drilled me with emails. I did like this. Look, July 27th sends me this message. By the way, this is not an automated message. It's definitely an automated message if someone ever says that, by the way. But I do like that he has his TCPA language. And then I did get a text 2 days after that. What happened? I haven't heard from you. Do you still want to learn how to do this? Don't sign off on text messages. That's weird. That's weird. You ever done that on a text message to a friend? Never. If you do, you say, hey, this is Sam with Close Doctor, by the way. Not like an email signature. And then I finally did reply. And then they said, what makes you want it? So then they started a triage conversation. Respect on this one. Wish I got a phone call. Would have been cooler if I got a phone call. Only emails, no text messages. Only emails. Come on, guys. Insta Club. Reply why to subscribe to current. What? Just don't even send the text message. No one's going to reply to subscribe to your automated email marketing. No one's doing that. Don't send the text messages. Nothing happened there. Let's see these. Whoa. Lots of text, lots of emails. Someone's got us in a workflow. Hey, Sam, it's me, Josh. Want to know you're officially registered. Make sure you set a reminder to be there on time. See you soon. All right, Josh, dude, so freaking amazing that you're running a webinar and you sent me a message to get me to show up. Not super cool. You didn't have your TCPA compliant language in there. I'll let it slide. If Josh changed this text message, instead of ending it with, make sure you set a reminder so you'll be there on time, see you soon, he ended it with, hey, what are you hoping to see on the webinar, by the way? I'll make sure we include it. Josh is going to want to show up to that webinar because you're going to talk about what he wants to see on that webinar. I really want to drive home the message on when you're building these workflows, don't make them suck. Make sure you're sending the emails, you're sending the texts, you're making the calls. Workflows can go on forever and ever and ever, and you don't have to do any of the required actions. If you're making content or you're doing cool in your business, workflows are really easy to make and stay in front of people because you never have to feel like you're selling something. You just get to talk about what you're doing all the time. And if you love what you do, you're going to love to talk about it. Abe will never get away from my communication inside of my CRM. He's here again today because I will never let him go. And one day I will work with him. I know it.
What's TCPA language?
Reply stop to unsubscribe.
Oh, yeah, screw that.
Yeah, that's it. I'm not the closed lawyer, dude. All right. Cheers, everyone. Thanks for coming to hang out. Thank you all.